Instagram was just giving I got money, but in real life it was giving I spent all my money on shoes, clothes, and jewelry, but I still live with my mama. It was giving I say I got money up front on Instagram, but I put my kids' school clothes on layaway. Y'all, before we get into this video, let me go ahead and give y'all a little disclaimer. I promise I am not cockeyed. My lashes was literally throwing up gang signs in this video. Y'all, please just disregard my lashes. Let's go ahead and get into this video. You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even have to say anything because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on period, and Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about the most toxic friend I had. I don't know if I'm going to title this video Toxic Friend or Obsessed Friend, because y'all, honestly, she was like a mixture between the both of them. Like, the girl was crazy. I feel like every female has either had a friend like this or they're currently with a friend like this. Like, y'all already know, in order for any of my story times to make sense, I have to give you a little backstory. So we gonna go ahead and give her a name. We gonna call her Roach. Yeah. No, y'all, we gonna call her Roaches because this girl had all types of toxic vibes. Like, we gonna make it plural. So we gonna call her Roaches. So me and Roaches had already knew of each other in high school. Like, I believe my junior and senior year we went to the same high school. I didn't know of her. I just like used to see her around school. She would see me around school. And you know, like, we wasn't friends, but I would just have, like, we had mutual friends. Like, we would just see each other around. After high school, I ended up going off to FAMU, and Roaches she was still in my hometown. Like, I didn't meet Roaches again. Like, me and her didn't reunite until, like, I think probably like 2 or 3 years later. I think this happened either at the end of my sophomore year of college or my junior year of college. Yeah, either my sophomore year, at the end of my sophomore year of college, or my junior college. Roaches moved to Tallahassee. And when she moved to Tallahassee, she didn't really have any friends, y'all. And y'all already know me. Like, I'm super duper friendly. So as soon as I seen that she was in Tallahassee, I would see her around campus and stuff. And I would just be like, oh, hey, girl. Like, hey, how you been? Like, how's life? And we would just catch up. And it was just short talk at first. But y'all, like, soon as me and Roaches kind of like connected, we would just click. Like, anytime we had a conversation, I just felt like she was my bitch. Like, before she really became my bitch, I just felt like she was my bitch. Like, anytime we click, like, linked, it would just be a good time. Like, laughter, like, we had the same vibe. Like, y'all, it was just a good time. So in the beginning, everything was all kiki and haha. Like, shit was funny. Like, it was real funny in the beginning. So we would always be together. I think no, we didn't have a class together, but a lot of our classes were by each other. So literally between classes, we would literally walk each other to class. I would walk her to class. Sometimes we would even drive to school together. After school, we would be together. Like, we would go to parties together. We would go to games together. We would go shopping together. Like, Roaches was my bitch. Like, that was my bitch. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna front like, oh, I ain't even, nah, that was my bitch. Like, that was my girl, and we vibe. Like, we were like this. So for like the first 2-3 months of our friendship, I didn't really notice any weird vibes about Roaches. Like, I'm usually good at reading people, but when I first met her, y'all, the vibes were there. Like, the vibes were immaculate. Like, maybe I didn't notice it. Like, in the beginning, everything was Gucci, everything was gravy. Like, that was my bitch. And then after them 2-3 months, she just started to become really obsessed with me, y'all. Like, she became like my bitch to my nigga. Like, she went from my bitch to my nigga. Like, she just started to get real aggressive and obsessive over me. Like, I didn't notice it until I got a nigga. Like, at this time in my life, how you say this, like, I was outside, y'all. Like, I was dating around, and I was just, you know, I was outside. I was living, y'all. I was just living my best life around this time. So I would talk to guys, and then, you know, it would never be anything serious. Like, I would just talk to a guy, and we'll just text, and then after day 3, he realized he ain't getting no poom, and then he just stopped texting me back. Like, niggas in Tallahassee, they not consistent. Like, y'all, they text you for 2 days, and on the 3rd day, they like, damn, she ain't, nah, nigga, next bitch, wrong bitch. Like, it ain't happening. So I would never like really talk to anybody, honestly, longer than a week, because niggas was just real inconsistent until I met this one guy. Let's see what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Temp because he was real temporary, y'all. So we're gonna call him Temp. I met Temp, And when I met Temp, me and Roaches, we just, like, our relationship just started to go downhill. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a disclaimer. Like, I am not one of those friends that, like, when I get a nigga or when I start talking to somebody, I don't cut my friends off. I don't start acting funny. Like, I was still cool with Roaches. Like, me and Roaches, we would talk on the phone. I think, y'all, we would literally talk on the phone every day. Like, I would see her on campus. She would come to my house after class, and we would talk on the phone all the time. Let me go ahead and mention this. I used to have this job where I used to get off work at 12 o'clock at night, and literally every night when I got off work, I would be on the phone with Roaches, y'all. We would literally just be breathing on the phone, but we just on the phone. And then the days that I didn't have my 8 o'clock class and she didn't have her 8 a.m.s, we would just FaceTime each other in the morning. Like, we would literally talk every day. Like, she wasn't my best friend, but she was my bitch. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I had some of the best times of my life with Roaches. Like, that was my girl. So fast forward, I had started talking to Temp, but y'all, that didn't last really long because Temp was a whole fraud. Like, we only probably talked a max for, honestly, we probably talked a max for 1 month. Like, I get this nigga 31 days. Like, we didn't even talk that long. He didn't even live in the same city as me. He lived like 2 or 3 hours away from Tallahassee, and he would just visit me. Like, within that month of us talking, I think he probably visited me like 3 times. Before we started talking, I had already had him on Instagram, and you know how, like, you just be peeping people. Like, you be peeping people on Instagram, you be peeping, like, y'all just be liking each other pictures, but it's just like none of y'all don't take it there. But one day Temp took it there, and me and him started talking or whatever, y'all. And on his Instagram, he was like giving rich boy shit. Like, he was one of those niggas that would be like taking pictures in front of his car, taking pictures at work. Like, he was, y'all, he was one of them flexy type of niggas. And Temp, I don't remember what type of car he had. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Temp had a Corvette, y'all. And Temp was a whole fraud. Like, I think the first time me and Temp even hung out, I told y'all he lived 2 to 3 hours away. The first time we even hung out, Temp was asking me for gas money. He was like, Asia, could you send me $30 to come see you? And I'm just like, nigga, what? I gotta send you $30 for you to come see me? Like, you could have waited until you was at least my nigga to start asking for no money. Because it's like, if you my nigga and you ask me for some money and I got it, I'm gonna give it to you. But it's just like, y'all, we was talking for less than a month, and Temp had started asking me for money to give to him so he can come see me. So I'm just like, boy, this not gonna work, because it's like, if you don't got no money to come see me, like, how you think this gonna work? Like, his Instagram was just giving, I got money, but in real life, it was giving, I spent all my money on shoes, clothes, and jewelry, but I still live with my mama. It was giving, I say I got money up front on Instagram, but I put my kids' school clothes on layaway. Like, y'all, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. So me and Temp, we basically, y'all, it just didn't last that long because he was a whole fraud. But the closer I got with Temp within those 31 days or so, Roaches was starting to get like real mad and like petty. Like, I would call Temp at night because that was like the only time that he can talk based on the type of job he had at the time. So I stopped calling Roaches that night. Like, I would still call her in the morning and we would still see each other at school and in between classes and stuff, but I just couldn't call sis no more at night. So she would get mad. Like, she would call me and she'd be like, bitch, like, why you stop calling me at night? And I'm just like, well, like, Temp, this is the only time he can talk to me, so I gotta talk to my nigga. She would just get real mad. Like, you know how, like, normally you might joke around with your friend and be like, dang, like, can I get some attention? But y'all, like, she was dead ass mad. Like, she was super duper mad. Like, I think after that situation, when I started getting closer to Temp, well, me and Temp didn't get that close because he didn't even have nobody come see me, but the more I started talking to Temp on the phone, the less I started talking to Roaches, because she was just real mad and petty. Like, she was just like, oh, I think I'm gonna try to find the text, y'all. She had sent me this long text, and this was probably like 1 week into me and Temp talking. She was like, oh, I just feel distance, and I just feel like you replacing me with Temp, and like, you just acting real funny. And I text homegirl back, and I'm just like, girl, like, you overreacting. Like really, like, I'm thinking Roaches playing. I'm thinking she can't be serious. Like, she gotta just be playing. But nah, y'all, Roaches, she was dead ass mad. Like, after that situation, me and her probably didn't talk for a good week. Like, she cut me off for maybe 2 weeks, y'all, but she cut me off for a little minute. But like I said, Temp was a whole fraud. His name Temp because he was temporary. Me and him stopped talking after that 31 days went by, the little free trial. And I hit up roaches because I honestly, I kind of seen where she was coming from at the time. I used to blame myself. I'm like, all right, maybe I am being distant. Like, maybe I'm not like showing her as much attention or hanging out with her as much as I did before. So I was kissing her butt, y'all. I was just like you want to go out to eat, like you want to do this, you want to do that, or whatever. Like, I wasn't talking to Temp anymore, but I was still mingling, and you know, like I said, I was outside. I was still talking to other people. So I reached out to roaches. I'm like, hey, you want to do this? You want to do this? And this is after she done like basically cut me off for like 2 weeks, and she agreed or whatever, and me and her became back cool or whatever. That's the first little situation when I started noticing that the girl was really like obsessive. Like, y'all, she was obsessed with me. The next thing, like it probably was like a week or two, not even like y'all, honestly, it was no less than a month after that situation. It's this club called Top Flight in Tallahassee. If you from Tallahassee or you ever been to the FAMU's homecoming, you already know what Top Flight is. It's basically a club where you can only get in if you're 21 years or older. Like, if you under 21, you can't get in, and they check ID, and it's like a really strict attire, and it's just like basically it's a club, but they call it a hole in the wall. It's just like a real grown woman chill type of club. So I had just turned, did I turn 21? I think I had been 21 for a few weeks, and Roaches, she wasn't 21 yet. Yeah, I think I was like a year and some change older than her. She was only 20. So I wanted to go to Top Flight because everybody and their mama like used to talk about Top Flight. Like, I used to have another homegirl, and they used to always go to Top Flight, and they used to say the drinks are good, the food is good, and they used to just be like bragging on Top Flight. So I'm like, all right, I want to go to Top Flight. So y'all, I didn't even think about asking Roaches if she wanted to go to Top Flight too, because it's just like, girl, like, you a little girl, like, you can't go, like, you're not 21. So I just felt like it would have been petty for me to ask her, do you want to go somewhere, knowing the fact that she's not 21, like, she can't go. So I didn't even think about asking her. So I ended up going to Top Flight with one of my other friends that was over 21. So we went or whatever. Y'all, we have a good time. I'm looking real cute that night. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna post it of the night when I went to Top Flight. But yeah, we drinking or whatever, y'all. We vibing, we eating, we dancing. I'm all on Snapchat and Instagram. I'm posting stories. I'm all in the camera. I'm just having I'm having a good old time. That was like a Saturday night. The next morning, like I said, me and Roaches, we would talk like almost every morning. So the next morning, I call Roaches, and Roaches answered the phone, but she like giving me like, y'all, she giving me attitude. So we talking or whatever, but the conversation is kind of going like this. She's like, how was your night? I'm like, oh, it was fun, girl, the food was good. She's like, I'm like basically the conversation was like one-sided. Like, I'm telling her how my night was, how everything went, y'all. So she ended up like, she was shorting me the whole time on the conversation. So I end up just saying, all right, I'm gonna talk to you later. Like, no hard feelings. Like, I didn't show her any animosity. I was just like, all right, like, I feel the vibe not there, so I'm gonna talk to you later. Immediately after that, y'all, she texts me, and I have this text because I remember screenshotting it to another friend. I'm gonna put it right here. She texts me, and she basically was just like, I just think it's funny how you went to Top Flight and you didn't even invite me. Like, yeah, I know I couldn't go, but you didn't even consider to. I'm like, I didn't consider to invite you. Like, you can't go. You can't go. You can't go. You can't go. Like, are you dumb? Like, sis sent me this long paragraph basically saying like she thought it was funny that I didn't invite her to somewhere that I knew she couldn't go. So y'all, after that situation, I don't even remember, but she basically would do this thing. Like, if she had an attitude or if she was mad about something, she would basically not talk to me for like 2-3 days, or probably max 2 weeks, but usually it was like 2-3 days, and then it would just be that she would just get over it, and she would text me like, hey bitch, and I just like, I'm just not the type of person that can hold grudges. Like, I would just be like, all right, I'm not mad, you mad, you'll get over it. And she'll text me, hey bitch, and I'll just be like, hey bitch back, and then before you know it, that's back my bitch. Like, we back good. So that situation happened or whatever. Everything was good. Like, I noticed, like, when I wasn't talking to niggas, or I'm not like around anybody or hanging out with any of my other friends, like me and Roaches, we would just be on good terms. But anytime I'm talking to a nigga like more seriously, or I would hang out or do stuff with other friends, she would just get real obsessive and angry. Like, she would just get mad. Like, y'all, it wasn't like a normal type mad. Like, I have been petty with friends before, and I'll just be like, no invite. Like, if my friends post a story and I know we live in the same city, and she didn't invite me, I might just be like, no invite. But I'm not about to get mad over it. It's just like, yeah, bitch, she ain't invite you. Maybe she didn't want to go with you. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not about to get all super duper mad. But the energy that she was giving me when she wasn't invited to stuff, like, she was just giving me the silent treatment, or like she was just basically acting real funny, like when situations would happen. So it probably was like a month or two after that situation. I don't remember the name of the party, but I believe I'm gonna put the name of the party here because it's a real popular party in Tallahassee. I'm gonna put the name of the party here once I remember it. But it's basically a pool party, y'all. And this pool party was like lit. Like, Roaches knew about the pool party. Like, everybody in Tallahassee knew about the pool party because this was like, I think this was another pool party when Miami, oh, excuse me. This is another pool party when Miami niggas and niggas from out of town invade Tallahassee. Like, anytime the hood niggas come to town, you just know it's gonna be lit. Like, it's gonna be a lit weekend. The weekend gonna be on the house. It's just gonna be a lit weekend, y'all. The whole situation, like, the whole tally is just gonna be on swole. So it was one of those type of parties coming up. So everybody knew about it or whatever. Me and Roaches and my other friends, we were talking about it before the event. I'm not gonna say where she worked at, but she basically worked at like a customer service type of job, and she had to work that weekend. Like, her job was open on weekends, so she had to work that weekend. So she already knew that she couldn't go to this pool party. So she was just like, dang, I'm gonna miss it. Like, I think the pool party probably started at like noon, and she had to be in work at like 11, and then she didn't get off work until like 11 o'clock at night. So she already knew that she couldn't go. She already told me that she had to go to work. So I was already planning to go with my other friends because it's just like, dang, like, my best bitch can't go. It is what it is. I'll just go with somebody else. Like, it is what it is. So I'm getting ready or whatever. Me and my best bitch, and this is a mutual friend. This is like this is a friend that Roaches know. Actually, this is friend Roaches and this other friend. They're actually closer than me. These friends, they're like best friends basically. This is her best friend or whatever, and we all three know each other because we from the same place. So me and my other bitch, we end up going to the party together. Everybody outside, and niggas outside, y'all. We just turning up. We having a good time. We making stories. Like, we on Snapchat. We posting videos. Y'all. We just vibing the hell up. We just posted up. So about probably an hour or 2 hours into the party, I get a text from Roaches, and she's like, hey, what you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm at the pool party. And she's like, the pool party? Let me see. Like she couldn't believe that I was at the pool party. So she's like, let me see. So she FaceTimes me. So y'all, when she FaceTimes me, I open the camera with my other friend, which is Roach's best friend. Like, this is my mutual friend. Like, our mutual friend. So I open the camera. She sees us in the camera, and we're like, hey, bitch. Like, we smile. We're like, hey, bitch. Like, hey. Like, y'all. Roaches didn't want nothing to do with me. Roaches clicked. She seen that we was together at the party. She hung up quick, y'all. And I'm just like, all right. Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe her phone died. Like, maybe she gonna call me back. But yeah, y'all, sis was mad. Sis didn't call me back. Sis' phone did not die. Sis was pissed off that we didn't invite her to the party, although we know she had work. So after that situation happened, like, we still at the pool party. I'm not thinking anything of it. I don't even think that Roaches is mad. Like, my other friend, we don't think anything of it. We just enjoyed our time. After the pool party, later that night, like I told you, I talked to her like almost every night. I'm calling her or whatever. She didn't answer, so I call her again because it's just like, bitch, like, you don't got no other friends. Like, I'm your only friend, so why you not answering your phone? So I'm calling. She not answering. So she texts me, and she's like, could you please stop? What did she say? I'm going to see if I can find the receipts, y'all. But basically, she texted me something along the lines of, could you please stop texting me because you didn't invite me to the pool party? If you would have texted me back or called me back earlier, you would have known that I had got off work early. So basically, I'm a mind reader. Like, basically, I just knew that she was getting off work early. So I should have said, maybe I should text Roaches to see what she's doing because she was getting off work early. Bitch, like, are you dumb? Like, what? So me and her end up getting into it or whatever. I end up texting her back, and I just was like, girl, like, how was I supposed to know that you was off work? Like, all you had to do when you got off work is call and say you was off work. And she was like, yeah, that's what I was going to do when I FaceTimed you, but you was already there. So y'all, basically, it's no way for me to explain like her side of it because it just didn't make sense. Basically, she was mad because we went to the pool party without her. Like, anytime I would do anything without her, it was an issue. It was an attitude. Like, it was a problem, y'all. Like, the girl was mad. So after that situation happened, she gave me another cold treatment, like a silent treatment. She didn't talk to me probably for a few days. And then, like I said, y'all, she ain't had no other friends. She only had like, she had other friends, but she was newer in the city, so she had like 2 or 3 other friends, like no other friends. So she called me and she's like, hey bitch, and y'all know my dumb ass. I'm like, hey bitch, I miss you. She's like, I miss you too. Like, you know, that's my bitch. So we back on good terms, because when all this stuff is going on, I'm not mad about it at the time. Like, I'm mad about it when we talk about it, and then after we talk about it, I'm just like, all right, that's roaches. Like, you know, you just get so used to dealing with people BS, you just get used to it. Like, you get accustomed to it. So I'm just like, all right, she'll get over it, we'll be back cool. So, you know, like always, y'all, a few days later, Roaches, she get over it. She texts me, everything is back cool. By this time, Roaches got her a little boo thing, but she not claiming him. Like, I think we had went to something called a Q social. We went to a Q social, and this is when I met her little boo thing or whatever. So she introduced me to her little boo thing. So I'm just like, hey, boo thing or whatever. He introduced me to his friends. We hung out that night. A Q social, if y'all don't know, is basically when the Qs, they would throw a party, like a block party, every Thursday at their frat house, basically. And you know, we outside. Like, at this time I was doing crackhead shit, y'all. So we would be at the Q social till like 3, 4 in the morning, like class the next day. Like, it was nothing, y'all. Like, I was on crackhead energy back then. So we at a party or whatever. I meet her little friend. I don't even know him like that. I just say hey to him or whatever, and that's that. We vibe or whatever. And then, like I told y'all, I don't know if y'all see my last story time, but if you haven't, go watch that story time. My last story time, I told y'all that I used to work at Chick-fil-A. So by me working at Chick-fil-A on FAMU's campus, I used to see a lot of people. And I don't know if it was the next day or like recently after that, like, you know, you see somebody and it's just like after you meet them, you start seeing them a lot. That's basically what was happening between me and Roach's little boo thing or whatever. So I saw him or whatever because he came to Chick-fil-A, and I ain't really say nothing because it's just like I didn't know him like that. I knew that was my bitch boo thing, but I ain't really know him like that, so I ain't really say anything. So that was that, y'all. Fast forward, it probably was like a few weeks later after I met him. Roaches is at my house or whatever. We not doing nothing, just like a regular little girls night. She just at my house, and she was like, Asia, you know what, I forgot to tell you, I was talking to we just gonna call her boo thing Nick. She was like, I was talking to Nick, and we was talking about girls, and he said that you was fine. Like, he said that you were so beautiful. And I'm just like, I'm waiting for her to say more, y'all. I'm just like, okay, like, where's the lie? Like, okay. And then she was like, after she said that, she was like, but yeah, I didn't even know he liked dark skins. And y'all, when she said that, I lost it. Like, and I do keep in mind, y'all, I didn't mention her race, but she's not black. So I'm just like, bitch, what do you mean? Like, I questioned her. I'm like, okay, what you mean? And she was like, yeah, I just didn't know he liked dark skins. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Noted. So after that situation, the whole, like, that night, she was still at my crib, but the whole vibe was just awful, because I'm just like, you supposed to be my friend, you supposed to hype me up. If my nigga say you look good, I'm gonna be like, yes bitch, like, that's my bitch, like, my bitch look good, like, that's my girl. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I ain't even know you like light skins. Like, what? Like, y'all, that's just a few of the things that she would do, and it's a whole lot of things I could add to this video, but the video already getting kind of long. The video already at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it short, keep it cute. We are still doing the giveaway. This is officially the last time for you to enter the giveaway. Make sure you have your post notifications on, follow my business page, follow my Lash page, and comment your Cash App down below, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.